Hello, my name is Nichole Provonsil, also known as Provo, and my field placement this year was in Fostoria Intermediate Elementary School, and I was in a 5th grade classroom, and it was a really great experience. I wanted to be in a 5th grade classroom to see if I wanted to do the 4th or 5th grade endorsement, because that's an option for early childhood teachers, and after this experience, I think I'm going to. So I had Wednesday placement this year. The early wake-up call was kind of a kicker for me, but it was all worth it because our bus rides were plenty of fun. So, like I said, Fostoria, 5th grade. So they did something really interesting. They had a 1-hour delay every week. So instead of school starting like around 9, it started at 10. But the buses still ran at normal times, and a lot of the students weren't able to get to school on time. So they had activities for the students to like keep them occupied. So some people were like gym, other people were like art, and I was in a math classroom. So it was fine. A lot of times it was hard to tell how many students would be there, so it was like a little confusing, but we would just do like addition games and like multiplication games, so it was fun. But the first day that I was there, I did this kind of activity with a male teacher, and he told me that some of the kids were white trash. So that was a great first impression of my placement, and I was like, wonderful, let the games begin. So another interesting thing that I noticed, just like walking through the halls even, is Fostoria is like very anti-bullying. So every time I was there, so every Wednesday, they have a half an hour bullying meeting where they just talk about like any bullying that's been going on, how to stop it. So I thought it was very interesting. Like, I can't decide if once a week is too much or not enough. But like, and sometimes like I just think they talk about it so much that the kids just assume that everything is bullying, because they'd say little things like someone called me a name, and I don't know. It was just interesting to like see like how the teachers reacted to it, and they even had to do like a project on it. So I thought it was kind of interesting. So during my placement, my main kind of job was the copier. So I honestly would say I copied at least 1,000 things while I was there. All the students had to take these unit tests, which were like 9 pages long, and I had to take like 25 of them, and I had to copy. I mean, I already did that. I had to staple all these packets together. So I don't know, like, I love copying, but by the end of the semester, you could tell me to copy a 500-page thing, and I'd be able to whip it out for you. So, and it's also really funny to be in there, and the teachers will come by and be like, oh, so, are you going to be done soon? And I'll go, oh, no, like, I have all this to go. And they just give me a dirty look, and I'm like, have a nice day, like, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Jeez Louise. And then one time I almost broke the copier. I don't really know what I did, but I went and got, like, the secretary, and she just was kidding around with me. So it's just fun. I just like having, like, a laid-back, like, people like that. Another thing I learned during my placement was the students are very fascinated by your choice of attire. So one day, it was the day before Halloween, and Halloween was like their spirit week, I guess. And the day that we went was a Wednesday, so it was the day before Halloween, and it was pajama day. And I was like, like, I didn't talk to my teacher about it before, so I didn't really know if she would be okay with me just coming in pajamas. And I would probably fall asleep if I was still in my pajamas. So I just came in like my regular clothes, and the kids were like, oh my gosh, why are you in your pajamas? And I was like, oh, like, I chose to wear this today. And then the last day of placement, it was just like a week ago, so it was the middle of December, so I wanted to kind of do something like Christmassy or holiday-y. And when I was cleaning Latifah in the talent show for You Can't Stop the Beat, I bought this black sparkle tank top and then this red sparkle like sweater thing. And so I wore that, and like all of the kids were just fascinated by how sparkly it was. So I thought that was kind of fun. Okay, so, and I know this sounds like a stream of consciousness, but it's really all planned out. Anyways, okay, so one day I had a sub, and I've had a sub for all my like the other 2 placements I've had, I had subs before. The first time I had a sub, it was a very pleasant experience because it was the last day of my placement, so I knew all the kids very well, and I knew how the procedures went by then. So he just ended up I had that class 3 times, like it traded, so you taught the same things 3 times, and he just handed it over to me by the last time. I don't really remember the second placement, but this placement, the sub was just very interesting. Like, the way that my classroom was set up. Like, the desks were kind of just all over the place, and she had them move them because, like, she didn't like the way that they were sitting. It's not your classroom, you're stubbing. And, like, so that was just weird to me. And she expected me to know everything, and it was only, like, I was only halfway through the semester. And like I said, I did a lot of copies, so I wasn't always in the classroom. So it was just kind of odd to me. Like, she was just very, like, I don't know. It was just interesting. And even the students, they were like, can you teach? Can you teach? And I was like, stop it. You cannot do that. You have to be nice. But unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to teach a lesson this time. But that's okay. I mean, I don't have to do it every time, of course. At least I've had experience, and I'll have more to come. But I did have a lot of abilities to, like, give tests to the students. So one day my teacher just, like, handed me her teacher book and was like, so do you want to give this spelling test? And I was like, sure. So I just felt all official, and I would walk around with a little book and say ride, R-I-D-E, and then it would have I didn't say that. That'd be telling them how to spell it. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I would say ride, I like to take a ride, and then the students would write it. So I thought that was kind of fun. And they also have these unit tests, and the teacher has to read the whole passage. Okay, first she reads all the questions and answer all the questions. Then she reads the whole passage. Then she goes back and reads the kids the questions and answers. So it's really interesting, and I feel like the students really, like, understood it after I did that. And I had, like, that microphone on, so I felt like a rock star, and I felt all official. So that was pretty cool. And then grading. Whenever I grade during my placements, it just makes me really upset. My heart breaks. Like, I was giving out 20 and 30%. Like, it's a spelling test. All you have to do is study the words. Like, yes, they're difficult, but practice. I mean, it was just so sad. And, I think one time I graded a group of tests, and I don't think anyone got 100, which was just fascinating to me. Okay. So then my teacher gave me, like, really, really good midterm evaluation. So that made me really happy. And she said that, like, I was doing what she expected me to and everything like that. And then in my final evaluations, which I'll hand you in on Thursday when I see you, I was really impressed with those too. My teacher didn't really, like, talk to me a whole lot, like, throughout, like, my placement, I guess. We were just kind of have, like, small talk or whatever. And she took the time to, like, read my evaluation to me, which I really appreciated. And so, and she told me that, like, one thing that she thought I just needed to work on was, like, saying no to the students. Just because they're cute doesn't mean I always have to give in, which I struggle in my regular life anyways. So, but then even she said that she just saw me, like, getting better at that just that day. So I thought that was kind of cool that she already saw improvement in me, and it hadn't even, like, been anything. So that was really neat. And then it was really cool because she told me that she would love to have me back. And I kind of felt bad because I'm not going back there next semester. And I would love to go back there in the future, but I don't know. I was just kind of over, like, all the clerical work. So we'll see. I can definitely see myself going back there, just maybe not tomorrow. And then, okay, 5th grade classroom, right? These kids are crazy. Like, so every day at lunch, they all line up, like, on the little wall, and I'll just go with them. This one day, all the students came hoarding at me, and I was like, what is the problem? These girls had gotten in a fight in the bathroom. I was like, are you kidding me? What about? So I run in, and I was not messing around because my teacher had dealt with that stuff before, and I go, you need to go stand in line now. And right as that happened, Miss Click, my teacher, she came, and I was like, this is crazy. And she, like, laid down the law. She was like, this is not acceptable. I don't understand what makes you think that, like, this is okay. And, like, I don't know. It was just crazy to me. And I just feel like when we would have those bully meetings, another topic they really stressed was cyberbullying. I'm like, excuse me, they're in 5th grade. What cyber experience are they having? And all these kids have, like, Facebooks and, like, cell phones. And I'm like, geez, Louises. But I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting that there's already drama and fights in bathrooms. 5th grade. So something to look forward to, I guess. And I also think it's funny just to, like, watch, like, my teacher and, like, other teachers and just the way they kind of interact, I guess. I don't know. Like, there was one time when this kid was, like, walking on his knees, and I was like, stand up, and he goes, no, I'm a midget. Well, I didn't even listen to him, and this one teacher came out and, like, yelled at him, and I was like, oh, I probably should have addressed that, but didn't really know it was a big deal. So, I thought that was kind of funny. But overall, I had a wonderful field experience. I loved getting to know the students. I loved getting to know my teacher. I loved being in that upper classroom. Like, I always thought that I would kind of be with like a second grade classroom, but now I can definitely see myself in a fifth grade classroom in the future. And I also love, like, during my field placements, if I was just kind of like observing, I would just take the time to like maybe look through the books that they're reading, or just like their textbooks, because I just think I don't know, I just like doing that, and I just like being adventurous, I guess, during my placement and seeing like what kind of grade levels they're at. And I also felt like I really connected with the students this time. Like, there was a select few girls that would always sit with me at lunch, and we would just play like really fun games. Like, we'd ask each other what our favorite movies are or our favorite songs, and we would play like I Spy, and we had handshakes together. So I don't know, it was just kind of fun, and like I feel like I can be there for them, I guess, kind of. I don't know, not as a friend because I'm the teacher, but just, I don't know, just someone else, I guess, to be in the classroom with. So, and I also loved, like, if Miss Click wasn't there yet in the morning, I would walk in, and they just, like, knew that, you know, you have to listen to me, like, this is real life. So they would just do what they were supposed to. They'd all come up to me with, like, 3 million questions, and I'm like, yep, of course, and just, like, go with it and stuff. So they were just fun. And one thing that really made me so happy, that I absolutely love, was every time I would leave, I left about 12:45, they would all scream like, "Bye, Miss Provonsil!" And I felt so bad because I was like disrupting the class, but I just thought it was too cute, and I couldn't just, I mean, like, how are you not supposed to just love that? So the only complaint that I would have about this placement is like all the clerical work that I did, which I don't mind copying, but that's not why I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be there to like observe. So a lot of times I would just get it down to a system where I would like copy everything and then just go back in the room and staple. So I was at least in the room like with the students. So, but once again, I mean, I can definitely see myself going back there. I just want to get more experience, like go to different schools, like a charter school or like a Catholic school or something like that. So, and I'll definitely miss the students, and I can't wait to see them like as they've grown up. And overall, ECCO has been wonderful this semester. I'm still learning a lot and still making fabulous friends. So, Perry the Platypus and I are deucing out, and we will see you on Thursday.
Hey!
Shut